Welcome back, everybody, to the next component of our Supercoach Blitz Watch series, brought to you by Jibber's Hot Sauce. Of course, the discount code UR15. So go through Jibber's Hot Sauce Instagram to find that one and get your hands on some of the best sauce going around in the country. Welcome, Baz.
How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. We're
Good.
looking at Brisbane Bullets are obviously playing tonight against Melbourne. So who are your players to watch for the Blitz that you could potentially have in your Supercoach team?
I'm going with a little bit of value on this one. And I think that the information I've read has said that he's going to have quite a good year and that he's rated quite highly. And that's our mate Bannon.
Josh Bannon.
So, yeah, I think he's only rated 69K. He's pretty cheap. I'm happy to roll the dice on him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to get a big score to go up in price. He just has to have the opportunity. He was listed as being their starting power forward, even though they're pretty stacked in that centre power forward area. So to see him on the depth chart starting, and if he starts during the Blitz, he's one I'm happy to lock away at 69K.
Yeah, definitely. He'll be a good little cash cow for us, I think. And they've got the one game in round one against Adelaide, who we think will be shit. And then they've got a double and a double after that. So should be able to make us some good quick money, you would think.
Yeah, well, that's kind of something we haven't kind of touched on. I like those players that by round three have played 5 games.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to avoid looking at it. Who do I want for just round one to get off to a good start? But yeah, I'm looking at those players that do play the most number of games when that price increases to give them the best chance of going up.
So
I can obviously pick them.
We're looking at avoiding Cairns, Illawarra, and New Zealand players.
Yeah, because I just think that there's no insurance for bad games there. And it also, limits kind of your scoring a little bit. If they do have a bad game, then they're probably going to just reach their break even. But yeah, if you play 5 out of 3, it's just a bit of maths.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, smart. So Brisbane in those first 5, they've got Adelaide, and then they've got New Zealand, Cairns, and then Sydney, Melbourne. So that third round will be pretty tough. But first few, hopefully, we'll drop the break even a little bit more potentially. So Josh Bannon, I think, will be a really hot pick.
Yeah, well, I hope not too many people pick him if they're in the same league as us. But yeah, he's definitely a good pick. I think so.
Yeah, 100%. We've also highlighted another big man to keep an eye on. Tell us about Big Rocco. What are you looking to see out of him?
Well, what am I looking? I can't miss him. That's probably where I'm starting. 7'2".
That's big.
Down to the centre of excellence. That is big. So it doesn't even need to jump to dunk it. Unlike you and I, who probably need a trampoline to even get the backboard these days. But
no, I've still got a rim touch in me just on the basketball court.
You're doing better than me. Yeah, I reckon he brings a lot of potential. A bit of an unknown pick. He's probably can sit nicely in your little backup centre spot. I definitely wouldn't have him starting on the court. He's a little bit more expensive than Bannon, being 115K. But based on how he played those first few games, if anything, new coach, new system, bring a bit of excitement back up to Brisbane and a bit of hope, especially after a disappointing season last year. He's got Bainesy to learn from, who's obviously their captain. He's not going to play huge minutes, Bainesy, in my eyes, just based on his age and kind of, I think, where he's probably at the back end of his career. So I think he'll be a nice little one to kind of coach the big fella. But as I mentioned to you earlier, I hope we're not seeing a Kai Soto 2.0, but I think he's going to be better. And I think he's definitely got the potential. If he plays minutes, he's going to put up some big numbers, or he can get you a quick 5-6 boards and a fair few points and just go up in price. So that's why he's on my list.
Yeah, I really like him as well. I agree with you. I don't think Bainesy will play a heap of minutes. Pretty similar to last year, maybe a few more, particularly down the stretch, which he kind of sat. Tyrell Harrison's also in the big man department there. He's struggled with injuries the last couple of years. So, I mean, if he goes down again or Baines is struggling with his health, then I think the minutes will really increase for Rocco. So, and then if you're looking around at the other teams and their backup bigs, there's not a heap of size going around really. So I'm with you. I think he could come in for, even if he plays 5 minutes in the second quarter, 5 minutes in the third quarter, and he can probably get you 8.6 boards in that time.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're probably starting him, you're probably going to have some issues. But if he's on your bench and you're getting 50% of his scoring, you're probably happy with that to at least start with.
Yeah, for sure. So
maybe
he's
not
at
long.
115. Okay.
Yeah. And when we get a photo with him when he comes down, if he comes down to Tassie, we'll have to have that one on portrait, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm not letting you in charge of the camera again.
Sorry, Creaky.
Our man from the Jackies last year, the Players Player of the Year, Isaac White. We're both pretty hot on him, priced at 88,000. So he's cheap.
Cheap as chips. Yeah, he's coming in with a good resume, isn't he? He's like got all the things you're kind of looking for a cheap breakout candidate. Yeah. Limited opportunity at the Jackies, moves to a new team. He's had back-to-back really good NBL 1 seasons. He had glimpses with the Jackies, especially when he's had some big moments there as well. And when he played late, he got those increased minutes, and he's won us a fair few. He won the Jackies fair few games off his own back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes sometimes you're yelling, "Don't shoot it, Whitey! Don't shoot it!" He does those little fadeaways, and they just seem to go in. Or or he goes and gets heap and ones. He's definitely a fan favourite.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be the exact same up in Brisbane. So yeah, the minutes he'll get them. How much that looks like, we don't know, but he will definitely get them.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get about 15, 20 minutes a night. They don't look too deep on the gut out in the perimeter, so he'll be coming in behind Sobes, you would think, and then they've got Scott and Norton at the point guard. So I think they've brought him in for a reason. I think they're looking to change the culture in terms of they want a few guys that are going to play hard, and I think particularly early in the season, those guys will see a fair bit of opportunity. One thing that I think about with Isaac White after watching him for the past 2 or 3 years is that he dominates NBL 1 and he dominates preseason games because the intensity is that little bit lower. So don't get too caught up in the numbers, I don't think. And if he's dominating, try and bear in mind where he might be sort of sitting in terms of how many minutes he plays.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. But also, as you mentioned earlier, 88K, probably don't really have too much to lose. If it doesn't pan out for you, just say you have him for, just say up until about round 5. He's played 2, 4, 6. He's played 8 games by round 5. If you're not too happy with his output or he's not seeing those minutes, I think that's a nice downgrade to hopefully Taron Armstrong.
Yeah. So we'll talk about him in the next one. Let's not give too much away.
Very, very shortly. I got excited. I can't wait.
Yes, you did. Yeah, I'm pretty high on Mitch Norton as well in the guard rotation. So he's priced at 116, break even of 10. So as we've spoken about their schedule, I think he's really that sort of steady hand they're looking for at the point guard spot, which they've got with Shannon Scott as well, but also Mitch Norton, I think, will play significant minutes at that spot. And I'd be very, very surprised if he's not hitting 10 points.
Well, he's apart from one game, but he made up for it with the 6 boards. In his other 2 games in the preseason, he hit 15. 15 on the other one was 15 and 12. So you got those numbers for you, and actually rebounded pretty well for a guard as well, which is always what you want to see.
Yeah, nice. I've actually got his preseason average sitting at 27. So he's hitting those numbers.
Yeah,
he's looking pretty damn good.
He is. He wasn't on my list, but don't worry, I can change my tune.
Yeah, absolutely you can. So Brisbane playing tonight against Melbourne. after the Jackies open it up. Of course, we start the pre-season with our boys. So 7:30 out at the Gold Coast Convention Centre for all the games. So we look forward to watching that one.
There we go.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.